morning. Really, on behalf of the family, just want to thank everybody for being here, that you took the time out of your busy lives and to come and honor my dad. It's very, very special to us that you would do that. And we would love, if you have any stories to share with the family afterwards. It always helps to hear from other people what they knew about my dad, our dad. I get to teach students down in Augusta, Georgia. That's kind of a side job that I have. And at every first class, I always say, I don't know how to lecture. I don't know what that means. And they probably go, but I don't know how to give a eulogy either. So, but I just made some notes, and I'm going to get through them, and if it resonates with you, especially to the friends and family, I hope it does. Our dad was a great provider, a hard worker, and it came to me just yesterday how I wanted to describe him. Now, remember, Doug, he worked hard and he played hard. See, that was our dad. He worked very hard, and he had a fun life. And if you think about how we are, how his kids are, it's sort of the same. Everybody else but me works hard. Really, all 7 of y'all work hard. I get by. But we all have fun. You know, we all have fun. And I think we learned that from Dad. You know, he didn't save a lot of money, but he was always just out for a good time. And he showed us that in the way he lived and what he shared with us. So that, you know, worked hard and played hard. He came home. He was always there. He came home every night. He was a good husband to our mom. He loved his Susie. He showed that to the end, and he proved that to us in how much he missed her. He was committed to his community, and Father Wade said kind of over and over that he did. You know, he gave to his church. He gave to his kids' schools a lot of time. Now, it was always fun for him, too. And it was fun for my mother to get out of the house. And we used to say bingo, bingo, bingo every Wednesday night. And, you know, we'd get a break from them, too. He liked to have a good time. He loved his big band music. He loved Bellarmine. And he was proud that he went here. He's proud that he played football. And it was just a part of our life as kids. We'd come over here on Friday afternoons. I could just feel it now. You know, we'd go watch the games. We'd watch our cousins play football. And he brought us there. It was just something very, very special. Great memories. Just to sit over there and watch the games. And then Friday nights we'd go to Buckshaw Stadium and watch the Bells play. Many, many years. And so he loved his school. And he's very proud that he went here. Wasn't too happy that 4 of his sons went to Mitty, but you know, but he supported us there too in a tremendous way. And I might get to that in a minute. But he liked to have a good time. This is a great quote, and I hope we can remember this. His mother once wrote to some leader over here at Bellarmine, Spencer has a touch of the spring fever, so he won't be at school today. He's hitchhiking to Santa Cruz. So he loves Santa Cruz. And you know, our Father just taught us to love it too. So we're going there tomorrow, some of us. And we're going to ride the roller coaster. And you know, I remember Dad lifting up his hands, riding that roller coaster. And he did it as a young man. And we're going to do it tomorrow. And so again, it's like the work hard, play hard. He loved the Big Dipper. He loved body surfing. He taught us boys how to body surf. He was my boss for a number of years at East Valley Bottle Shop. So he was my boss. And he was. You worked there, right, John? No, Stu worked there. My brother Mark worked there.
Tony was my boss.
So he was a good boss too. You know, I always wanted to work very hard for my dad, and he would talk about us, how hard we worked, and we didn't want to let him down. And he was a hard worker, so that was a privilege to. He was the manager of the store, and he taught us how to work and how to do our jobs. This is a story that I'll always remember. He had a little office in the liquor store, and he'd have his lunch. And one day I was working. It was I don't know, but he's in there and he's reading the Bible. And I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm just reading the Bible." It was like the Living Bible, and I thought, that's interesting. Nothing more, but I'm just reading it. I'm learning, so I can still learn something. That was neat. He was proud of his family, and he made us proud of our family. We used to, again in Santa Cruz, I remember he'd take his family to the Ideal restaurant. Is it still there?
Yeah.
And we'd sit in there, and people would come up to us, up to him and Mom, and they'd say, "You have such a well-behaved family." And we'd all kind of be very proud, but the flip side of that is woe unto us. We didn't behave. My mom used to tell the story that I was messing around in church at St. Leo's, and my dad slapped me on the leg, and she said that for the rest of my life I would just sit in church and not move. You know? She said some people thought I was retarded. But that was Dad. He calmed us down. You know? We all have the story of being separated in church, though, right? Like we're sitting there playing on, and then my dad would separate us so we could move on. Friends, my father was very kind to our friends and family. Cousin called him their favorite uncle. We have some cousins here today. My dad's goddaughter, Marcia's here, our cousin. He took us almost every game that my brother Mark played in at Midi. And so that means trips to San Francisco. And he would take us down Haight-Ashbury every time we were in San Francisco. And those were the times, you know. It was. Late 60s, and we would be in this Dodge van, and this is a bad word, okay, but we called it the retard bus. Because it was a bus, and we'd look at the hippies. And he took us to every Midi basketball game, and Midi had a really good team back then. And I just developed a fierce loyalty to Midi when Mark was there, and so I had to tell Bellarmine, I just can't come here. It's not going to happen. But the smartest one in the family did come here. He got up 5 minutes before class. We had to go across town. He loved that. He was proud that his kids played football. 4 of his boys played football, and Bert was a great basketball player. This is another story. We all took turns rubbing his head. So we'd straddle him in his easy chair, and we'd just rub that greasy head. And smell our hands and go, oh. But he loved it. And we did that, though. I mean, we did that for him. They're never for back. And you all can tell the story about how he lost his hair. I'm not going to do that. He loved us.
Loved ice cream.
Oh, well, I was going to say, we ate. He taught us how to eat ice cream from a mixing bowl. He had a good life, and he gave us a good life. And the final story that I want to tell about my dad, it's very personal, but this is the kind of, this is what he did for me. I was like in 4th grade, and I just had terrible eyesight. And so I had to get glasses. And the only kind of glasses they had at the time were like Buddy Holly glasses, but Buddy Holly was long dead, and no one cared to have these black glasses. So that's what I got, and I hated them. You know, I was so vain and proud, like God, you know, I'll never get a girlfriend. And that night, the day I got my glasses, he put Mark, and maybe you, Stuart, I'm not sure. But he put me in a tie and a coat, and Mark in a tie and a coat, and he took us to the Century Theater, and we got to watch Grand Prix, the movie Grand Prix, and I could see for the first time, a movie, but he did that for me. It's like he went out of his way to like make me feel like it's okay. That was a very cool thing, and I'll just always remember my dad doing that. Very personal. So the other final thing I'll say is about Dad's weaknesses. You're supposed to say all the good stuff, right? But Dad had a short temper. He could get very, very hot very, very fast, and it was ironic because the maddest he would ever get was when he couldn't find his tools. But he didn't know how to use the tools. So he would just be steaming, like looking for a hammer, and we would just keep our distance, and he would just be, very rageful. And other things, he had opinions that were just like retro. But, basically we could live with it. But there was a song, one of my favorite songs, it's about a saint is just a sinner who falls down and gets up. And I think my father, so we can say he was a saint. He was a sinner, sure, like all of us. And he would fall, but he'd get up. He'd just take every day and get up. And when you think about how some days we have hard times getting up and going to work and all that, he did it for those many years, and I don't think I ever heard him complain about having to work to support the kids he brought forth. So he was a good man, a special man, and thanks for letting me share.